Complexity Gaming team. And happy to have him here with his great insight. So we got the draft underway here, so let's get into it. Hellbringer, Midas, Wild Soul, and Warbeast are the bans this time around. You see Fusin reacting a little bit as bans out Hellbringer here. You have a Behemoth first pick into that Arachna yet again, and now Parasite coming out for BMG. So again, Arachna is really kind of just storming onto the scene, I feel like. This is Sync playing it now again.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why. The hero, I mean, of course it's strong, but it doesn't really seem that, like, stand out. Of course, it wins its lane most of the time, but other than that, I don't.
You know, what actually makes it a little more interesting is that obviously he got these changes to him in the previous big balance patch that happened, and it took a little bit of time, but then eventually we were seeing some players kind of pick it up here and there in certain cases up until this latest patch, but this patch even nerfed the hero, yet we're seeing it like more now since the patch.
Or did they nerf the movement speed? Or?
So, well, no, the precision. The precision actually got toned down a little bit. So it was considered too strong, where now the bonus attack damage, the percentage that it deals was reduced from 10 to 5%, and then the maximum bonus attack damage percentage was reduced on top of that. So, like, the overall damage output was essentially reduced on the hero, yet now teams are just really starting to pick it up like crazy. So I almost wonder if that was like people realizing, wait a second, why were they nerfing him? Oh, well, because he was really strong beforehand now. So that I find that just really fascinating. But sounds like you weren't even aware of that.
One thing that we like about the hero on my team is the fact that he is like a semi-carry. He doesn't fill that hard one role. But he does, like, if you have, for instance, like a War Beast or a suicide carry like Madman, then Arachna is like a perfect choice because he does win his lane. He does like offer like a lot of damage, and she's a strong hero, but just I don't really like it as a hard carry role.
Yeah, no, I agree with you actually. It's kind of funny you're saying that because for the longest time, especially when the very before that patch even happened to the hero, the changes. I've always seen the hero as more of a kill hero rather than your actual hard carry in the short lane farmer. So, I will say BMG when they picked it up, they usually have done that. Obviously, the last game happened to be a little different with Balthazar playing it, but Boxy does have history playing it plenty. So, yeah, I wonder how Sync is going to run it here. I think Haxerin did play it once or twice yesterday, so have to believe that maybe it's going to be the same, but, well, we'll have to wait and find out. The overall picks, by the way, is Behemoth into Arachna, Parasite into Glacius, Aluna into Tempest, so nothing really out of the ordinary here, though.
No. Pretty standard pick so far. Fusin decided to go ahead and ban out the Hellbringer and the Wild Soul in the first two picks, which are, like, Wild Soul is a standard one. Hellbringer is definitely because Sync has been picking that hero up like every game lately. We actually ended up banning it against him in the first two initial bans yesterday also because the hero is so strong, even with the nerfs. The huge AoE stun and the ability to usually crush a lane is a bit too much for us to handle sometimes.
Yeah, so Fusin agreeing here with that Hellbringer ban. Obviously, Zibe had a fantastic performance on the last game. So yeah, no surprise really to see that ban here. Riptide, Magebane, Ravener, and Silhouette are the bans coming out here. So pretty heavy on the carry side of things from either team even. But I guess Fusin's more so focusing on that middle lane especially. As far as
I think that Sync when they banned Arachna yesterday, they actually manned up with the Ravener on us, and I think that maybe Fusin was watching the game, decided that like, oh. I think likes to run Ravener with Arachna, so.
Yeah, interesting. Picking up on that. That wouldn't surprise me. Fusin seems like the player that the kind of player that definitely is watching a lot of replays. Honestly, he definitely is very knowledgeable about the Han scene and the game itself. So would not be surprised at all. Pebbles into Kinesis, the final couple of bans. So we do see the Kinesis, and again, that was even initially banned last game, remember, from Sync, so he does eventually take it out here. But Sandwraith, a pretty quick pick there from Fusin. Likes the Sandwraith.
Yeah. they do have a Tempest jungle on Sync side, so I mean, they do have the possibility to man up with a dual lane, and have an Arachna solo top, but I don't know. Sandwraith, I don't know about the Sandwraith pick there. I guess they wanted it so Sync couldn't grab it against the Behemoth, but it does fit really well with their lineup. But it's really weak to man up lanes.
What have you had a lot of chance yourself to kind of play with the Sandwraith and the new Mach especially?
I've only played it once, and that was the competitive game, the match against Sync yesterday.
Okay.
I don't really notice the difference. I'd never really. I mean, of course, it's like a slight damage increase because Vestments doesn't really block any of the damage anymore, but I didn't really notice it. But it is a good change. So
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I know. I mean, I could see that, especially especially from your perspective. Maybe you haven't played it a whole lot, or even did beforehand. So, but for somebody that does, somebody like an Immo Boy, I kind of wonder, if they can really tell a difference, or if it maybe is a little, overhyped, you could say. But there's no doubt it was a buff, absolutely. So, with how that new Mach works now, but. All I know is that I've been hearing a lot about it. I have been hearing a lot about it from a lot of different people, so we'll possibly see it here again for BMG.
So BMG decided to pick up a Deadwood. I think if Sync wanted to put a Arachna mid, that Deadwood really wouldn't get anything. So I'm not really sure why they picked up a Deadwood there against an Arachna. Against a hero like Arachna, when they don't have a mid hero picked yet. See, Sync's draft? Yeah. Okay.
Huh.
Well, that's going to be a hard carry Arachna and Amraxis mid.
Interesting. So again, we see another hard carry Arachna.
See, I don't really care for it. I think what Sync could have done here. I mean, Meraxis is a good hero against Deadwood, but they could have put Arachna mid against a Deadwood and just totally crushed the lane.
Yeah, could have changed that up at the last minute for sure.
But it is.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to touch on they didn't have much time, to be fair, with that final pick. I noticed their extra time was actually very low, so maybe they were just kind of panicked and they realized, okay, well, we got to go with something, and they just kind of chose for comfort here, what they maybe planned initially. So, but that was my point there. So, but yeah, no, it makes sense. Arachna would probably dominate the Deadwood, and then they could have picked a hard carry instead to finish it off, but they stick with the Arachna, which again, Haxrin did play at least once, or maybe even twice yesterday, from what I recall. So
I feel like he played. I feel like he played it 3 times yesterday. I'm not. I don't. Let me check. I don't.
Was it all 3? Hey, could have been actually. It actually could have been. I don't know, picked up on that, but because I do remember one game he built like first item shrunken head, and we're really like criticizing that in the game.
He actually ended up playing it twice yesterday, and then he played Sandwraith one game.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, point
is, I guess,
been doing it a lot.
They value the Arachna a lot, but I don't know if it's as good as people think it is. But we'll see. I could totally change my mind.
Well, again, you're playing the winner of this series, as you well know. So, one of the benefits of casting here is not only hopefully you're having fun at least, but you get to be doing some research.
I get to counter the Arachna.
There you go. You got to figure that out. See if it's worth countering. Just kind of watch Haxrin here and be like, it's whatever. No, but he's going to end up in the short lane at the top lane here. He will be matched up against the long lane Behemoth, of course, so expecting a pretty good time for him. You see Sync is choosing to go with the dual lane mid, Moraxis Glacius, up against Deadwood. So that's another way to deal with Deadwood. Off the bat, a lot of damage, actually. Gonna force Foxy to early regen here. But yeah, you like this choice here from Sync? This makes sense to you?
Yeah, it does. Because Behemoth can't really do much against an Arachna. Usually you can just stick a solo against a Behemoth because of the fact that it is such a weak laner. And that it likes to roam a lot, the long lane. So Haxrin's pretty much going to free farm top, Meraxis is going to free farm mid, and then Lodestone's going to be Lodestone and get whatever he can bottom. So I like the decision. I think that Sync is definitely going to come out on top in the laning phase.
Yeah. We'll keep a close eye on that one here to see how it all does work out. You do see Zibbe at the bottom lane. He's going at it with a Luna right here. Of course, Suicide player would. A lot of experience on Zibbe, so kind of comfortable with this matchup here, but yeah, he's definitely hanging around a bit. Those Lowstone plates especially do help, though. As top lane, what's going on up here? Rachna's pulling. Very interesting, actually. You see Behemoth is going to be able to block a little bit with those boots. He has a finish on a 1 second. Oh, but Tempest comes over at the right time, gets the bloodlust first. Now Rachna does end up falling, as actually Boxy gets credit for the kill even. So I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think you could argue that maybe BMG comes out on top of that just because of who got what, but they did get bloodlust on Sync, so.
Yeah, but that's huge for Tempest, though, because he's going to Blood Chalice Astro build, and he's going to have that Astro so early now.
Yeah.
Because of that bloodlust.
Yeah, Zlapped getting that, so good point.
Actually, he's
there.
going for the ink.
Yes, he is. He's going in right here, spawn some elementals. You see Arachna now turning around with those web shots, and I don't think Behemoth is getting out of this one. So Make, he pretty much committed to a point where he, now he had a word of sight here, actually. So honestly, that's just Make not paying attention.
Yeah.
He should have definitely seen that. From
Well, Tempest is at 500 GPM.
Yeah.
Almost, he's going to have an Ashley in about around 5 minutes.
Yeah, this is a much better game than what he had last game on Ophelia. As Ophelia was locked down completely, really, so. And he still eventually had pretty good impact. So you can only imagine now, as you're pointing out, the very early Astrolabe here was what we're very likely going to see, and so they're going to definitely be able to make use of that. So already a snowball is starting for Sync, and it could get better. Oh, the stomp was just out of range. Far more access there. You see Deadwood barely alive, but he does survive. Is the good thing for BMG. Bottom lane, they want to really kill this Lodestone. Now, he's not the easiest to. Behemoth and Parasite are here, though. Can he get the rocket drill off in time? Zibbe, he needs to go for it. Look at the positioning, though, for Parasite. Acidic goes the other direction. He's going for the turn kill. No, it's not enough damage. He misjudged the damage. He needed one more auto attack. Good attempt from Zibbe. He figured he was going to take somebody with him, but he ends up dying without doing so in the end.
Yeah, but they did commit 4 heroes to killing the Lodestone.
Yeah. That's
One thing that I'm hoping that Celtic I hope he doesn't go his Codex build this game. I know that he liked that Codex, but I really hope that he goes the puzzle box. It's so good against all the strength heroes on the hub one side, and that Arachna can't really get away from a puzzle box chasing him.
I gotta say, if there's one thing I've learned about Celtic, it's when he's on Parasite, you just don't guess. Just he'll do something, from Assassin Shroud to Codex to puzzle box maybe, but feels random.
I feel like the last time that we actually faced him, he went Codex into a puzzle box.
Really? I don't know if I recall that game, actually.
I don't know. I think so. I just know that he's known for, like, I think Shroud also?
Yeah, Assassin Shroud. Yep. So we'll see. We'll see what the Celtic jackpot tells us this time. Not playing the
as long as he doesn't pull the gold up, I'm fine.
Yeah, well, he probably will. Behemoth, middle lane, he's in trouble here. And see Lodestone coming in with the flank. And Behemoth is going to be taken out. Deadwood, lucky for him that he wasn't a little further up too, or else he could have very likely been killed. But good control here as far as the middle lane goes. And Zibbe doing a little bit of a jab right there. But no, I think it's kind of making a point that BMG is really stacking the middle and the bottom lanes here. Obviously, they've completely left the top lane. They've allowed Arachna to just free farm now up here. So even with the one death, Arachna's over 400 gold per minute. She's doing just fine.
Yeah, this is exactly what Sync wanted, because he's having complete uncontested free farm. Mid has essentially free farm on Raxus. So 2 out of the 3 lanes are winning, plus they have a Tempest at 470 GPM with an Astrolabe, and they're pushing that tower down.
Is the Astrolabe? Well, I mean, I guess yeah. It's especially in this maybe with a certain heroes it might not be as good. But what I'm getting at is actually they're going to go on a beam with the right elemental void going to be used right there. It will pull in whoever TP's in, that being the Parasite. And you do see Tempest, though, he is going to end up going down. Arachna will TP out, however, playing that smart, realize they didn't have a stun ready, and gets out of there. So it ends up being a 1-for-1. But again, a lot of resources used by BMG to make that stop.
Yeah, but they did stop the tower push. They made Arachne the TP out, and they got a 500 gold kill on to their Sand Wraith. And Tempest ultimate's down, too.
Yeah. Okay, so pretty good for BMG then. As we noticed there. Yeah, speaking of that, Sand Wraith, he's going to walk all the way back to the bottom lane, but already now 1,000 gold saved up. And do you think this is a game? I mean, there's already been a bit of action. Could he maybe go for that Energizer, or should he just go straight Mach here?
Well, I mean, Mach's usually always the best choice if you can get it early, but I think that Sync's going to be super aggressive with their lineup, and they actually might be trying to go on bottom right now with Glacius Lodestone.
Lodestone, no. He's just softening him up here. Looked like he might have been going in, but yeah, I guess he's not level 6 yet, so doesn't have that extra burst. God, the cooldown's that short? Wow, it is, isn't it? 7 seconds. Jeez.
I feel for Balthazar right now because I know landing against a Lodestone who can just constantly do that on you is so obnoxious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and until I just saw that right there, I can't say I realized it was that short of a cooldown. And noticing it. So now, bottom lane, though, Parasite is coming in, so actually, see the Legion side is going to be able to set up something here. Lodestone. Oh, he is going to rocket drill, but Teltuk chasing him. He did use the face. Oh, he actually used the face. For some reason, I didn't think he used it.
Yeah, I don't think that was a good idea. Parasite, it was going to be a hard kill on Lodestone anyways. I don't think they were going to get it. He should have just gone for the Glacius kill and then gotten out and forced Lodestone out of the lane. But he decided to use it on the tanky Lodestone and didn't really get much out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, Zibe's had to deal with a lot already this game, and, you know, honestly, if we're only having 1 death and even having an assist, he's actually not doing too shabby again, and he's level 5, which, you know, it's managing right here. So, meanwhile, top tower kill, though, going down. Arachna, again, 400 plus gold per minute. He's going to chase down Behemoth. Oh, vote to pause coming out, but Arachna, by the way, does go the Energizer here. Beats us here.
Okay.
Another, again, especially with you being a carry player, curious on this. I know the patch is still brand new, but Thunderclaw. Well, what about this new Thunderclaw costing now 1,100 more gold? Have you had the chance to try it much? What do you think?
I've tried it once in one game, and I didn't care for it at all. I didn't think it was that good, especially for the cost.
Just seems a little too expensive, you think?
Yeah, it's too expensive for what it does. The AoE on it isn't very large, so like the damage was kind of underwhelming from what I saw. I tried it on Draconis with another Parasite, but still, even with that, it just doesn't seem that impactful.
Interesting. What about the Arclight, the Arclight crown, the one where it's just heroes in the late game attacks?
I haven't had a chance to try that out, but I'm in the balance call, and I heard some of the other competitors talking about that it's a little underwhelming right now.
Okay.
But I haven't personally tried it out yet.
Gotcha. I do find it interesting with the Arclight. Again, I know it's not supposed to be like a replacement of Charged Hammer by any means, but it does. The fact that it doesn't actually require the Thunderclaw, it does throw me off a little bit.
Yeah. See, that's one thing that I was talking about with my teammates is that we don't really like that because you want to buy a Thunderclaw, but then like, what if you want to upgrade it later on?
Yeah.
But
now, I will say on that argument that was a thing, obviously, before the patch, and no one ever did. But that's probably because Charged Hammer was just considered, you know, not that great. But I do wonder if Arclight, if it actually required Thunderclaw, you know, maybe if that would be a little more appealing. Because the idea that it transitions from hitting creeps to then just heroes, I mean, that makes sense, right? Like, you would want it to be more just on heroes late game, so.
Becomes a late game item. But one thing that's nice about Thunderclaw and about the Charged Hammer for this patch was that you could even pick it up on like supports even to like defend off mega creeps or something.
True. That was the only time we saw those, yeah. That is true. So yeah, maybe that could be a possibility for if we get to those games, which I'm sure we will eventually here, but yeah, that's That's definitely one of the many of changes here that that have taken place. So
Have you actually gotten the chance to see Spike's Bola yet?
I have not. I picked it up in a mid-Wars game, so that's kind of it. But Near and I were talking about that yesterday. Actually, there was a game. It was like a Wild Soul versus what was the other carry? I forget what it was. But by two, pretty right-click kind of heroes, and we were kind of wondering. Both of them got the dancing blade, and we were wondering, could that have been a possibility? Would they have made that into a spiked bola? They both ended up going wing though. So, but what do you think?
I've tried the item once on Kronos, and I really like the item. But it's not really a hard carry item. It's more of like that semi-carry item. Actually, let me see what this.
Okay.
It offers a lot of attack speed actually, with a 30 agility and 35 attack speed.
Yeah. I think
it does do it. What?
Well, I think kind of going off that, that's where I think maybe the issue with it is that the cost of it and the build-up seems like it's supposed to be a carry item, but it doesn't feel like it's a carry item at the same time.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that hard carry, like, I guess, like, roll.
Yeah. I mean, requiring a Dancing Blade, a 3,200 item, is pretty expensive, so. And it used to, that got increased, didn't it? It used to be 3,000, I think, for the Dancing Blade, so. Even a little more now.
I really like the new Basher change.
Oh, yeah? No agility?
Yeah, it adds a lot of damage,
Mm-hmm.
especially for a strength hero.
Yeah, that was definitely another thing. It's actually bottom lane. Luna is in trouble here, at least. Gonna get the freeze off as he can. This should be a kill. Yep, they get the kill on a Fusin. You saw the Teltic and the Hell Cannon there, kind of just sitting nearby doing what he can, but not too much, unfortunately, as too much pressure there, so. Good response coming out from Sync, and coming out of the pause here, they got a 4,200 gold lead, 3,700 experience lead. Moraxis gets caught up to the side over here. He pops the Matrax, though. He is going to survive for now. The Astrolabe heal even coming out. Now Sandwraith has to get on out of there, realizing that fight wasn't going to be successful, but he's going to run into Lodestone, actually. Oh, Lodestone cuts him off. And he is going to be able to get a stun. Will it be long enough? Cut it through the trees. Is Zlapped right there. Nice hero blocking. And here's the stun right there. The Elemental Void as well to guarantee the kill onto Balthazar. I think the stun may have been enough, but Zlapped really just making sure. I mean, it is the carry, so you want to make sure to get that kill. So well played. And we'll see where they go from here. But big momentum for Sync now.
Yeah. Like the Legion's team really can't team fight Hellborn's team right now. Especially with the Astrolabe, they have no portal keys on any of their initiators. Sandwraith won't have a mock. Oh, the haste rune.
Get it, Deadwood! Get it, Deadwood! Oh. That's so brutal. He's like, if I get this, I live. And he couldn't get it.
Like I was saying, is that they don't have the team to team fight right now. They really need a mock on Sandwraith for him to be useful. They need a portal key on Behemoth for him to be useful. And Deadwood's not really even close to hit. So as long as Sync keeps up the aggression right now, then the game is already snowballing out of control. So, and Tempest, I think, is about to have his portal key.
Yep, he is just about there. Sitting on 2,100 gold makes sense. Also sitting on a lot of gold is that Parasite. He's going to go to the bottom lane on Lodestone, actually. It's not going to be enough, though. Lodestone will survive. Glacius turning it with that Glacial Downpour. Not really doing a whole lot, though. Eventually gets stopped. But that will be the end of that little exchange right there with nobody dying. But, yeah, unless Teltuk is going portal key again, sitting on 2,000 gold, he is going to run in right here on Hell Cannon, but actually not going to open. Not worth it there. But they get the tower kill. So Sandwraith, he is trying to get that Mock of Brilliance. And even with that death that he had recently, I mean, it's coming pretty quickly. It is 11.5 minutes in. It's not a bad pace here. So hope for BMG at least. I think that's definitely it. As there's the portal key from Tempest. So again,
Looks like
go ahead.
Looks like Arachna is actually going to go the first item, Shrunken Head.
Again, okay, yeah. Hax likes this, I guess. That's, like I said, we brought that up yesterday too. He did that against you guys, I guess it would have been.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay just because it negates a lot of the damage, but also I think he could go like a Firebrand first item before actually building the Shrunken Head.
Yeah. I know you talked about the precision. It does provide a good chunk of damage, but it still just feels odd to me.
Yeah.
But, no, he likes it here. He only has a level 1 in Hardy Carapace, too. That's worth pointing out. He's not got that second level yet, so he can't activate it while he's stunned or silenced.
Okay, so Teltuk actually went an Abyssal Skull first item. I
Huh.
I don't really like that, especially since he could just go for a puzzle box still.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the Abyssal is not really like it's not. There's no really like hard melee carry that needs to lifesteal, or I mean, of course it's a good armor aura, but it's not really gonna do much for them.
Yeah, the lifesteal aspect of it. I mean, they do have Sandwraith. It is a 4 melee team, so I mean, I get what you're saying, but they do have 4 melee to be fair. So Tempest is gonna go in on a Devil with Moraxis. Devil gets a Falcon Punch off, but he dies shortly after. Moraxis is gonna live. There was just too much support nearby, and obviously Devil just didn't have the follow-up there. Bottom lane Lodestone, I think he is gonna be fine here, as Parasite is gonna chase for a while. But you need to be careful with that because you see a turn coming out. As Moraxis is going to kind of counter here, but obviously in the Skeleton King, it's a little too much to handle, so not going to.
Glacius might find. Uh-oh.
Oh, now he's in trouble. Well, he'll freeze the minion, but of course Parasite comes out, but oh, Teltek, he realized that support was coming. That's a good choice on his part because, yeah, I think if he committed to that kill, he probably could have been turned there. Make sure of it. But yeah, no, I mean, going back to that point real quick, I do agree. I do agree with you in the end. Yeah, it seems like might be. It's not a high priority in this game for sure to get, but I will say it could have been worse. Especially with being Teltek, it's like there are some times where you kind of just go, what is he doing? So in that sense, I think there is value to it, but.
I won't ever forget the game that I saw him on Chipper.
Yeah. 4,500 gold saved up.
Yeah, to buy the Staff of the Master.
With boots. Yeah. That happened. Tempest, he gets gone on. And the Astrolabe. Oh, he was going for a turn setup there. He put down the Meteor, but yeah, it's probably good that he didn't cast the Elemental Void because there's really no chance there of it happening. But good find on him. He was pretty far up by himself.
But Haxorn ended up picking off the Deadwood by himself.
Oh. That he did, yeah.
So, I mean, Haxorn's only about 50 gold away from a Shrunken Head. And I think that is Lodestone's Portal Key being delivered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Hellborn has all their portal keys and they're about to have Shrunken Head on Arachnus, so like they want to hit their timings. They can push on the towers. They can get Kongor. Especially Samurai ulti is down. They could Kongor right now.
That they could if they choose to do.
They don't have the best team for doing it, but I think that they can. I mean, Samurai ulti's down. Shrunken Heads, portal keys. I think they have. But they might want to go for the tier 1 bottom first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't have the most vision at the Conqueror Pit right now. I guess they do have a Ward side over here, so. Well, the Legion team is the one without vision, to be fair, so. Yeah, it could be a good chance here for Sync to possibly make a play at the Conqueror Pit, but. See what they choose coming out of this pause here, but of course it does continue to be that momentum. Seems like it is in their favor. Obviously, they're up 1-0 coming into this game, and they do have a 7,000 gold lead, 7,300 experience lead now at 15 minutes in. Here in game number 2, so trying to get that rematch with you guys over there in Complexity, so looking pretty good right now to do so. As looks like Teltek is back here. I believe, yeah, he definitely just bought the sort of the high on Sandray, so Baltazar is just about there with that Mocker Brilliance. And that will be Portal Key Stopper.
I mean, an Outbones.
Oh. Interesting. Huh. He likes the Parasite. Well, especially though with in a normal Parasite game, I think that might be okay. But Tolzek doesn't go puzzle blocks. He has a lot of history not going puzzle blocks. So I think that's an oversight by Zibe a little bit.
Well, I think the Alkbones would be fine as if he went the Alkbones after his blink. It's bulky.
Yeah, that too. Huh.
I bet Zlapped's over there just saying, Zippy, what are you doing? Because I know that I heard at least that he told Zippy, if you're joining my team, you can't go these stupid items choices like Alkbones every game.
They've talked about that a little bit, yeah. We've had Zibe on, and he's kind of mentioned that before, yeah. But I mean, Zibe again, he does have the history at the same time of he doesn't let others influence his decisions. He's very confident with his decision making, and he has that logic to it always. It feels like so. He feels the Alchemist Bones is a better choice here right now. Well, we'll see how it works for them. Tempest, he tried to help chase down. I think it was the Aluna, but unfortunately comes up short. Oh no, it's the Parasite. Anyways, they're gonna farm down here instead. Kind of steal it a little bit. Alkbones, that was the cost was reduced by 50 gold. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's I believe it was. Let me double check.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yep, it was reduced by 50 gold. So a little bit of a buff there. Obviously, the build-up's different now with the Alacrity Band. Nice pick on Amaki, by the way, here at the top lane. And there's the bottom tower, so more positives for Sync eSports continuing. Obviously, BMG just continues to be in that spot of we need that mock on Sandwraith, and then we need more kind of deal.
Yeah. They also, I mean, they do have a superior Tempest Canceller with a Parasite, but it's really hard for Parasite to do that. It puts a lot of pressure on the Parasite, so it's not always reliable.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that if Zlapped gets his Shrunken Head, then he pretty much has a free Tempest Ultimate in this game. And I don't see them winning this late game on BMG side unless Sandwraith just spirals out. Well, here goes my okay.
Yeah, nice catch there. You see Behemoth gets some good revenge. Comes to the top and ends up using the ultimate right on top of him. So 1,000 gold saved up now all of a sudden for him. Nice turn.
Yeah. That's a lot of gold. 539 gold for killing Mickey.
Yeah.
Okay.
What we believe to be Mickey.
Well, yeah, what we believe to be Mickey. Looks like Arachna is actually going to go for the Whispering Helm.
All right. That's his.
Went the Helm of the Victim, so maybe.
Yeah.
Unless, isn't that, what does Whispering Helm build into?
Whispering a symbol?
Yeah, the symbol could be okay. Doesn't it build into the new Bloodborne Maul also?
No. It builds into the Ultor's heavy plate.
Oh, okay.
The Helm of the Victim does, so. Probably not. Yeah,
No, definitely not. But looks like he just wants to go to the symbol or the Whispering.
Yeah.
But they did buff Whispering actually. The creep gets like 50 movement speed now and something else.
Okay, yeah. So the damage was decreased from 20 to 10, so a little bit of a nerf there. But the lifesteal was increased by 5% from 15 to 20. And then it now gives dominated creeps a permanent 50 move speed and 1 mana regeneration. Oh, interesting. All right. Another thing. So yeah, the use of it actually was buffed a little bit. Okay, well, that's cool. Gives you more of a reason to want to take over creeps with it. Oh, middle, speaking of Arachna, ooh, avoids the Rotten Grasp. They were definitely trying to jump her. The red stun as well from Aluna was attempted, but it's just out of range there, so no catch. Oh, they're still trying, though. They got the Veiled Rot and everything. Behemoth, yeah, he's like, now's the time. They jump in. Arachna pops Art and Carapace. It doesn't matter. Obviously, couldn't get the Shrunken Head off either. He gets locked down and killed. And Glacius fell throughout that, too. So, nice jump there from BMG.
Yeah. I was surprised at how fast the Arachne actually dropped, but I guess he did get Deadwood punched, beating the Shockwave. But that's huge because Sainwraith has his Mach, and now he has 1,500 gold saved up.
Yeah, that's kind of the nice of this Legion lineup where they have that Deadwood, the upfront physical burst. And against an Arachne who's going to be using that hardened carapace to mitigate a lot of damage, as pointed out there, I mean, that doesn't do anything against that. So, and then especially with him prioritizing the Shrunken Head on top of that, so his ability in that item, again, Deadwood doesn't really care about. So, Deadwood definitely is going to be a big factor this game for BMG here. Certainly was in that last fight, so buying more time for development on Sainwraith, who buys a life tube. Interesting. That could be many of things.
He's probably going to go for the refresher of the Nullstone.
Okay. That would probably be the obvious, yeah.
Yeah.
The refresher. Well, because it did hit me, though, like something like a... well, what else? Oh, yeah, the Elder Parasite. I think that builds into an Elder Parasite now.
Yeah, Glows of Haste, Glows of the Swift, and Life Tube.
Yeah. Probably not going to be that, but it is possible with that component. However, Kongor, in the meantime, going down in favor of Sync, so they've got an opening here, and they'll take it. Haxorin does get the token, and he'll also finish the Whispering Helm. So, again, you look at his items, he's not necessarily dealing a lot of damage, especially now that that Whispering Helm damage was nerfed, as I just pointed out. But his precision does allow him to still do plenty as that idea. Deadwood trying to survive right here, actually may do so. He has support coming in. In fact, they could turn. No, they're just about running. Behemoth going to portal key away. And Deadwood's still trying to get out of here. He'll portal key and teleport. And yes, he is going to be fine. So good getaway there from BMG once again.
Yeah. Deadwood actually picked up a Lex Talionis. And like, the item is a good item, but I don't like the idea of picking it up on a hero like Deadwood if you're not getting that much farm, because of the fact that it's such a small cost, like a low cost item. And I mean, it does offer a bit of like decreased armor, but it really doesn't do much.
Mm-hmm.
It's good on supports, but I don't really like it on the core Deadwood.
No. Is there ever a time you think Lex is good? I guess it's just supports then. If
I like it a lot on supports. Back when Parasite applied the debuff, so it was like a double Lex Talionis. I think that was good. But other than that,
speaking of Deadwood, oh, Behemoth, good response though. Comes up with a shockwave. Deadwood will fall right there. However, the new kill Tempest before he can do much else. But now Behemoth getting low on the tablet, just out of range. He tried to get over the ledge. Good attempt there, but he will not be successful. You do see Sainwraith is able to teleport out before they also find him. So they got Tempest, but the two are had from Sync, making it a 2-for-1 exchange right there, as they will come out on top. Sainwraith, yep, it is official. He is going for the Resto Stone. So that's going to be coming out here. And yeah, Baltazar, I mean, again, he got that Mach, and it has been working. 440 gold per minute now. He is top farmer in the game here. I wonder how Arachne's going to continue here now. So he's finished the Whispering Helm. You know, obviously he's not going to go straight Symbol by any means. You would think it's going to be some damage assistance now.
Yeah. I don't really care for the Whispering Helm pickup. I mean, it does add an extra bit of armor against the Deadwood, but I think that like the Geometer's Bane is such a better item choice than the Whispering Helm.
Yeah, and obviously there's no chance of him going Shield Breaker. That's what I was thinking. The Shield Breaker now with the attack modifier and him already having it, so.
So, I don't think we commented on this, but Parasite picked up a portal key to help him with canceling his ultimate.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I still think that if he had a puzzle box, like they could be winning this game right now.
Yeah. I mean, Puzzle Box, it was changed, but not that that's the reason why he's not going again. Even before the patch, he was notorious for not getting Puzzle Box, but what do you think of that change to Puzzle Box? The fact that it's now more expensive to get it initially, yeah?
Yeah, it was a little bit more expensive to get it initially, but overall, I think isn't it cheaper to upgrade it to level 3?
It is, yeah.
But they even increased the stats on it. I like the new change.
Okay. Yeah, so Parasite players, it'll take a little bit longer to get it, but yeah, it's ultimately better though when you do get it. So
yeah,
it's a good trade-off there. Looks like Sync is gonna push the middle lane now. In a comfortable spot here. You do got the token, of course, on Arachna for only another minute, though. So they can't be doing a whole lot with this. You see a split pushing, however, from BMG is keeping Sync guessing on what to do here. Got bottom lane, Deadwood. He's off into the trees, as he tends to be. Boxy is just going to wait around and look for an opportunity up here. Top lane, Arachna ported in. So they actually fall back and defend their towers rather than just pushing the secondary tower mid.
So there's Resto Stone on Sandwraith.
And yeah. So has that Resto Stone now to work with too. Again, the item itself was nerfed a little bit as far as stats and the damage and everything, but it still accomplishes the restoring of cooldowns, which is the big part.
Yeah.
So now we'll see what he goes next for. But 2,500 gold on Arachna. I mentioned the shrunken head here on Tempest. But pointing out to that Parasite, he's ideally going to be waiting for that opportunity with his own portal key now. As, bottom lane, they're finding themselves in an exchange right here. Down goes Parasite, though. Shadowstorm activated by Lodestone. That's going to be a pretty big explosion there, and yep, definitely felt by Deadwood. Sandwraith, though, he did double ulti, by the way. He does not come in, however. And he ultimately stays out of there. I don't think he ever actually was in here. Those were just illusions that whole time. And Sync wins that fight pretty big time. 2-0, and the double ultimate used by Sandwraith.
Yeah.
End.
Now's the time for Sync to... They still have Tempest hold up with a Shrunken Head. They can push the outer towers.
Stone going up here, but Behemoth going to fall back before he gets caught. What is Behemoth okay, Resto Stone, that would make sense. Okay. Yeah, he has the Arcana and then a Mana too. Had to think there for a second.
There is a double damage rune top.
Now they're racing. Raxus will bottle it here, so probably give it to Arachna. Get the chance here. But yeah, as you're pointing out, it looks like they're going to be grouping up now. Ooh, Dancing Blade purchased by Arachna, so again, probably going to be a wing bow, if I had to guess. Is that going to be good here, you think?
I mean, Wingbow is always a good item, but like he's still... I think Geometer's Bane is just like the ideal choice here, so... The Wingbow is still fine. It's a really good item. Lets him to really put a lot of damage into the base towers without having to put himself in like too much danger.
Yeah. He's going to join up with a couple of people on his team right here and easily destroy the middle tower. He did get the double damage rune in the bottle at least on him, so has a chance to use that if he finds it necessary. Deadwood, he's hanging around nearby. They're going to find him, though. They saw him right here. Lodestone, where's he going? I'm confused. Lodestone kind of just, like, stopped.
He had his eyes on the Vulture Lords. Or his Alkbones. I'm not sure.
I am confused what happened right there. I want to watch that replay, because, I mean, did you see what I saw? Like, he just literally, like, stopped fighting.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Was that maybe a lag? I don't know. I mean, I feel like we would have heard about it if it was lag, but that was something. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the replay right here. Did they just lose vision of him, possibly? Because, okay, here comes the jump. I mean, Moraxis is on top of him. They both just kind of run. Moraxis chases, but he couldn't chase him into the trees. So maybe Lodestone just figured, like, with the trees and everything, they couldn't chase. But anyways, back to the live action. Shrunken Head's being used right here. Behemoth, he's trying to run, but it's not going to happen. He eventually gets chased down. We saw Sandwraith there. He actually did use an ultimate. I think it was with the intention of maybe just trying to scare them, but they weren't falling for it. In fact, Sandwraith middle lane's in trouble. The Elemental Void, the Shatterstorm combo And that's going to go, boom, goes the dynamite, down goes Sandray. Tempest will fall in response. Moraxis missed the real Deadwood, though, as he's on the run, however, cutting through the trees, of course, but here comes that Arachna. The dust is going to be used. This time there's not much of a chance for Deadwood to actually escape right here. Let's get the portal key out for 1 second. Yes, he is going to be able to use it. The axe missed, and so he's able to use the portal key and survive in the end. So good escape from Boxy there. But again, the big picture, Sync definitely winning this exchange here throughout the middle lane. Oh, they lose the bottom tower at least. But doesn't seem like Sandwraith has been able to have a lot of success ever since he's got this Resto Stone here.
Yeah, I didn't really think the Resto was the best item choice, first off. I think that, I mean, it's an amazing item, but like second item, instead of like a Shrunken Head or something along those lines, because they do have a lot of PK initiation on the Hellborn side, but maybe he thought that he was just going to try and go for the Resto Stone because Shrunken Head wouldn't really help him much against the Arachna or the Tempest.
Well, he's got 2,200 gold saved up. He actually buys a Quick Blade right there, so. Nope, no, he buys a Mighty Blade, so yeah, he's not sure what he wants to do.
He's going to go Shrunken, I'm assuming.
Is he? Okay, yeah, maybe he was deciding between that and Firebrand or something, but yeah, he does eventually choose a Shrunken route. Would be the guess. Unless he wants to go Brutalizer and he thought it still required a Quick Blade, I guess that could be possible. But yeah, probably a Shrunken would be a good guess here. Granted, Arachna, of course, not too concerned of that, but it will do plenty around him. Oh, uses the ultimate here. Is he going to find somebody? Or just scouting? It looks like it's just scouting.
Yeah, they don't have any vision in the cockpit, so I think he was just using his ultimate to scout that out.
We'll just continue to farm and get whatever that item turns out to be. Again, I'm guessing the Shrunken. Soul's Bulwark picked up on Parasite, by the way. He also has another 3,300 gold here as they're doing Congo in the meantime. But what do you think of the new Souls and the new Demonic Breastplate, the changing of it and everything?
I like it.
Well, top lane, actually, because we have initiation up here. Lodestone, but no, he got stunned by that by the Falcon Punch of Deadwood, actually. We saw the damage, though, was very minimal because of the Shatterstorm. And so, but it will help save his teammate, so there we go with that exchange. By the way, Kongor was killed in token on Arachna, so there we go. But yeah, Soul's Bulwark.
I like it. It's not like as strong as it was, which I think it was really strong for its cost. But now the Demonic Breastplate, you have the enemy and the ally mode, so it's really, I like it a lot because you don't just get the best of both worlds anymore. You get it's kind of balancing the item. So basically, if you're like against a heavy physical lineup, you of course you want it on a like a ally mode, and if you have like heavy physical damage and you just want it on enemy, because I think on enemy mode it's like -7 armor.
Yeah.
The towers and the team, and then plus like, actually, I have to look this up.
It's -7 armor, and then you get +3 armor, and then attack speed, 20 attack speed. So the attack speed always stays the same, but if you're in ally mode, it's +7 armor and then -3. So 7 and 3 of the interchange for offensive and defensive there. It's just a matter of what you're doing in that fight. You know, Calamine actually brought up an interesting point. I had him on Thursday, I think it was, about that and how he always keeps it on defensive now on the ally mode, and then because you can activate it. So if a fight happens to be breaking out or you're going in for kills, then you just activate it, and then it becomes minus armor for the teammate or for the enemies. You know, enhanced damage on them. But he likes the idea of having that plus armor on you just in case they do jump you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, yeah, it's a nice, interesting changes there. But again, bringing it up because I would guess Parasite may be going for that here. The Soul's Bulwark, but yeah, not too sure. Could be good against Arachna here with her physical presence. It is really just Arachna that's, you know, the big physical threat here, of course. A lot of magic damage surrounding her. She's got that part covered. It's Behemoth. Yeah, he is still working on that Resto Stone here. That Arcana and the Mana Tube. And may finish. Well, he's not finishing the sustainer, so I don't know what's going on here. With Maka, maybe he figures he wants a buyback, I guess, but just looks a little odd. There we go. We'll get it. 100 gold for homecoming stones now.
Yeah, I like that change. I didn't even realize it until Love said it in the game yesterday. I was like, what? Really?
Well, I mean, you're the carry. You have so much gold anyways.
Yeah, I don't really notice the extra, I guess the
35
gold.
would be different.
Yeah, that I am not spending anymore.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. As a carry, it's you wouldn't notice it, but as a support, you definitely do notice it for sure. And you know that obviously just influxes more gold into the game throughout it as well. You would think because not having to spend an extra 35 every time, so as you just spend it on other items.
It adds up.
Eventually. See you see Parasite kind of pushing out the bottom lane right here, but obviously Sync is knocking on the door. They got the token for just under 3 minutes here on Haxerin. Going to try to make a push here into the middle lane, but not really doing it too aggressive. Kind of being somewhat passive with it, in fact. I mean, Arachna, especially with that wing bow, that precision aura, she should be able to get in some pretty good auto attacks onto the tower, but yeah, instead she's kind of just here by herself. And look at the rest of them. They're coming down to the bottom lane. They're trying to catch the Sandwraith. And will they? Oh, the stomp is going to miss. Sandwraith doing a good job of juking and jiving there. And Balthazar will survive in the end. So, yeah, I guess they were keeping Arachna to kind of act like they were still there, but Balthazar doesn't fall for it in the end. Ends up getting away. So, good attempt, though, from Sync.
If you look at Behemoth's items, he actually, and his gold, he actually almost has that refresher.
Yeah. How impactful is refresher on Behemoth? Do you think that is a real big deal? Or?
I mean, it is. The ultimate ed does do a lot of damage even without creeps there, and it does have that like extra lockdown. So, I like the resto on Behemoth. I think it's a really good item. It's really hard to push into, especially if he gets top lane.
Deadwood running away here. Oh, he's sitting on the uphill, actually. On grasp, and he'll just keep running. Glacius freezes himself.
They're going to think that they have a ward in the top river now.
Yeah. No, he's got a bound eye, so I could check that here. That's off cooldown. But yeah, so you're thinking that the Resto Stone on Behemoth is actually going to be pretty impactful here.
I do, I really do. And they have a Staff of the Master on Sandwraith, and I think that's funny because the fear from Sandwraith's Staff of the Master effect goes through Shrunken Head, so we can cancel a Tempest ultimate.
Yep, that does give them another Tempest stopper. That's a good point. Now, it looks like Tempest is trying to build one himself. As Sandwraith, is he going to go? It won't actually fear unless he goes, so, you know, again, he's just scouting with that. Didn't find an opportunity there. But not afraid to use that. Just to scout out with as bottom lane Lodestone. Saw Behemoth kind of setting up, but didn't want to take the risk. Instead, we'll fall back. But yeah, that gives him a second Tempest stopper now, and also means that that ultimate, that much more impact here from Balthazar, as there's a Resto Stone officially on Behemoth. So it is going to be a lot of chaos here for Sync in these fights because of the Sandwraith now, especially.
Yeah, tokens down. I could see Legion winning a team fight if they get the right initiation off. Uh-oh.
Are you kidding me? How did he... I love it. He just, like, walks up here with the new Shroud, by the way, that he has. And it's like they knew exactly where he was. I mean, he just scouts him out, and I'm guessing they saw him go in there, but still. Shatterstorm middle lane is going to miss there from Lodestone. He's hoping that to catch somebody. He has an Ice Brand, by the way. So he's going for that Frost of Skull.
Yeah.
It is funny seeing out of heroes like this. But again, with that new use effect, it does kind of make sense. Being that Lodestone was a hero that we'd probably see Frostfield played on as well, so... Do you think it is a good choice?
Frostwolf on Lodestone? It's okay. I think an item like Cyclone could be better though, especially to protect against like the double Behemoth Shockwave initiation from Legion. But it's a little greedy of an item, but it's gonna make him more of like a I guess like a semi-carry-ish presence.
Yeah. See, Sync's not doing. I mean, it's probably because we already mentioned how Behemoth especially is tough to push against, and this is a pretty scary team to kind of just push into. But yeah, I mean, Sync hasn't really been able to siege the base yet. Even with the Token of Life, they were very hesitant to. Do you get why?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you get why they're so hesitant? It seems like to actually really try to push here on Sync's side. As top lane, Moraxis, he's dead. Nice find there.
Because I think they really they really worry about the range.
Yeah, they're going to be exposed right here, actually. In fact, the Tempest ultimate going to be coming out right there. Nice Talbot, though, with a Sand Wraith. It allows him to use that ultimate and come back in with the fear. Arachna's now in trouble, and she's very likely going to fall right here. She has another Shroud, but it's not going to matter. She goes down. Tempest in trouble as well. They didn't have the backup initially. Aluna will fall. Big Shadowstorm coming out, though. They get the kill on Behemoth, and Deadwood is going to be chased down in the end. So they lost Arachna, but you see the supporting cast does come in and eventually get something out of it. So that was a really interesting fight, definitely, between the teams here.
Rex ended up buying back there.
Who did? Oh,
Moraxis.
Yeah.
He did it at the very beginning. And that Sand Wraith ultimate, though, is doing work. That was a really good tablet, I'm guessing, from the Behemoth to get the Sand Wraith out.
I think that's why Tempest did the ultimate right there, because he realized that he had a good target for it. But obviously, yeah, the support was there for sure. And able to help the teammate get out. In that case, the Sand Wraith, very important one, of course.
I mean, BMG's kind of fought their way back into this game. Like, their lineup was more of a mid-game to late-game lineup. They just had to survive the early-game aggression from Sync. But I don't know. I could see them winning this game, but they have to play it like flawlessly in team fights.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy victory. I mean, Sync up 1-0 here, especially trying to get to the grand finals, but BMG definitely putting up a fight here of what has been a pretty difficult game for them for the most part, and at least trying to give themselves a shot here in a third game. But still a lot of work to be done for sure. The Frosted Skull is finished on Lodestone. Arachna, you'd guess, is going to be upgrading, well, either the Symbol or the Assassin Shroud here. So definitely has a couple more upgrades to make, as well as even one more item on top of that. So she still has a little bit of ways to go here before she's going to be actually kind of maxed out. And, you know, we're 41.5 minutes in, so it's not too surprising that it's not there just yet. But that's something to fear, no doubt, if you are BMG. Arachna will be dealing a lot of damage. Potentially, at least. Setting up middle lane right here. As if they going to go for a jump chance, but more so kind of reacting to what Sync's doing as a just-in-case precaution there. Kongor, the third Kongor, I think it would be the third Kongor. It should be up soon.
Yeah. I don't think Legion can let them have the third Kongor, though, because that'll be Bananas and Token.
Yeah. I don't want to give that one up.
Darren looks like he's going for the Geos.
More illusions. That's always fun.
I'm curious to see what Parasite's going to go next.
Aren't we all? No, but
maybe like a Hellflower or a Sheepstick or something.
Yeah, that would definitely go well with the Portal Key, especially.
Okay, well, there's the Kongor. It looks like they're grouping up.
Oh, a nice little double damage rune. Ready for Arachna. So, got that to work with, and just look at how fast Kongor is dying right here. That's pretty quick. Now the Legion team, though, oh boy, they're setting up. Here we go with Sand Wraith. He's going to go in just yet. Behemoth jumps in with the Shockwave. Sand Wraith does come in with a fear. Arachna's getting very low on life. She can't even do a damn thing this whole time. Tusk comes out and eventually is going to be killed. She has a buyback using it immediately. Meanwhile, Behemoth dead, though. Shadowstorm doesn't hit anyone. You see Lowstone going to continue to chase, though, is going to catch a Luna right here as the Rock Grass comes out. Moraxis, though, hits the stun onto the Deadwood, and Arachna is coming back in. Tempest jumps in. He has an Elemental Void still, hasn't used it, not going to use it here as they get the kill. So actually, Sync does come out on top there. It did require a buyback onto Arachna, but they're pretty pleased, I'm sure, with it, and now they're going to get the token and Bananas as well. So it seemed like that could have looked very good for BMG, but it actually worked out pretty well for Sync.
Yeah, I mean, they did have the buybacks, but I mean, Lodestone and Meraxis are doing so much work in these team fights. They're both so tanky and do so much like damage, and they're constantly stunning and slowing people. And
yeah, they had to. I mean, with Arachna was literally locked down the whole fight. So I had it on her, and she did nothing. She did 0 damage that fight. Eventually died, after about 6 or 7 seconds probably. And so exactly, it had to be more access than Lodestone, and clearly that was enough to pull through. And the fact that there wasn't even an Elemental Void required either definitely tells you something.
Yeah, I felt bad for Zlapped because he died instantly. He bought back, post-aced it in, right into a 4-second Luna stun.
Oh, poor guy. No, but again, that's like I said, the good way to look at that is that it wasn't even necessary, and they still won the fight as they did. And he's going to have a double ultimate coming here in the near future now, possibly before another fight breaks out at this rate here. So, again, when it comes to jumping, when it comes to getting in there, BMG and the Sand Wraith especially, it's a lot of strength, but it's, as we saw in the last fight, it's not guaranteed. It definitely needs more to happen than just these ultimates and initiations here. I think the sustained damage is going to be the biggest thing here. It's actually Sand Wraith, looks like just illusions, but nope, they just go to the top lane and picks off Moraxis. Well, that can be a thing that continues to happen now. Is it ever good for Sand Wraith here, like especially at this point in the game now? Yes, he does have double ultimate, but should he be using it to kind of scout with, or should he always be saving it for like fights / ganks that he knows are
I mean, it's good to use for scouting, especially if you have no vision where they are and you really you need to like know where they are. But other than that, especially with the Staff of the Master, you want to keep it for the team fights because that huge AoE fear is going to it could win you the team fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I think early on in the game, it's fine to use for scouting, but later on, when like there's one team fight decides the game,
yeah,
I think that it's smart to keep both of them up, unless you're getting a pick.
What do you think Arachna needs to upgrade here first, Genjiro or Symbol?
I mean, he'll probably go the Symbol, just because he's been getting blasted down in these team fights really fast. And maybe a Symbol will give him enough health to turn around and do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Symbol.
Makes sense, yeah.
But he does have tokens, so he could go the greedier route and go the Genjiro.
We'll say the Legion team, it seems like they've been pretty good at making sure they have Dust with him. It looks like Teltuk's the one that's carrying it here, as well as Aluna. Just for that purpose. So, yeah, that's where the Genjiro may be a little less appealing for him. But at the same time, it does add some good damage, of course, with the agility and the bonus out of it, the second charge. So, oh, there we go, though. They have our answer. It is going to be a Symbol for his upgrade here.
I'm not sure what Teltuk's saving up for. He has 4,600 gold.
What could it be? Sand Wraith? Oh, yeah, it went bottom lane, actually. Arachna's pushing middle. In the meantime, Tempest was picked off the bottom lane. Obviously, Sand Wraith and others going down here. But again, that's if you're Sync, if you're not kind of grouped up, then that's going to be happening.
Yeah.
They're going to get picked off here. Look where we're at. Look at Glacius in the base. Had to use his ultimate just to clean up the illusions there. Actually got low even. That's not good for him. But yeah, I mean, you look at the gold being pooled up on this Legion side especially. There's not only Parasite, but Sand Wraith 4,200 gold. Behemoth 2,600. So there's a lot on several heroes here they have to invest into. I think Sand Wraith is just as curious what he's going to go for, really.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious because, I mean, the Savage Mace is kind of I mean, Wingbow, Ragnar already has the Precision Aura, so that gives everybody on our team True Strike.
Yeah.
He could go for like a Frost Wolf, or maybe maybe like a Conjuro, or I don't.
Hear me out here. Hear me out here.
Do you see what Parasite's doing?
No. What did he do?
He rebought Staff of the Master. He bought it, sold it like
Oh,
3
okay.
times.
He's trolling. Okay.
Yeah.
But no. Hear me out here. What about the new Bloodborne Mall on sale?
Okay. I don't really care for the item unless it's on a few specific heroes. I don't think that it would be that good on Sandwraith.
No.
I actually thought you were going to suggest an HoNTour's Plate because of the fact that they do have a Lodestone.
Oh, well, that could be good too.
But I don't think he will, but I'm just saying it could be like an interesting item
Yeah.
against heroes of Lodestone because you dispel. I don't know if you dispel the Shadowstorm debuff. I think you do, and you also gain 100 armor.
Okay. Yeah, I guess without lifesteal, Bloodborne Mall is maybe a little risky.
Yeah.
As well. So, hell, maybe Arachna could manage something like that for. I just kind of want to see the new item, so I'm being greedy there, but.
Isn't it mainly for strength heroes?
Well, I mean,
yeah.
it's strength, obviously, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be strength to get the item. I mean, of course, strength still gives you health, so there's that benefit that you can get from it. But yeah, ideally, it's for something like a Malikan or the obvious one there.
Maybe a Berserker Breaky.
Yes, as if he needed more buffs. But yes, it's something that he could pick up too. But you do see the symbol, another 1,800 gold saved up on Arachna. I guess we're going to be possibly waiting for yet another Kongor.
Okay,
right
so
here.
Parasite just bought a Frostwolf Skull.
He does have a
I
demonic.
think the Sheepstick for a Hellflower. I don't think a Frostwolf is really that good of an item choice. I mean, it makes him tankier, but it's not doing much for him.
Yeah. He's got a little bit of right-click presence here, of course. The Abyssal Skull, the demonic, and now that Frostwolf Skull. So he's definitely got some combat here. And that with his draining venom, I mean, his right clicks are actually going to be adding up, you think.
Who knows?
Wait.
Celtic may carry this game.
That's possible, yeah. Was that a middle tower deny? It was, wasn't it? 51 minutes in, and they still have the middle tower up. Wow. Just
Do you see how much gold Sandwraith has?
That's a lot of gold, 7,000 plus. Yep.
I don't think he knows what to buy either. I bet he's asking his team, guys, what do I buy here? That's what I would be doing.
It's not an obvious spot, I agree. It's as you were kind of going through, the new Savage is like, do you really want that? The Wingbow, is that great against Arachna? Not really. Do you just go health? Do you get a Behemoth's Heart? Like, is that something?
Well, oh, he went the Savage. Okay.
All right. Now again, just to clarify on what the Savage is actually Deadwood. He's gonna get caught up here against Sync, so nice find there from them. Let me pull it up right here. So yeah, and now actually, when you miss an attack, as long as the item is not on cooldown, your next 3 attacks cannot miss. And that in itself has a 6.5 second cooldown. So it's not as strong as it was before. It doesn't have a passive True Strike anymore, but it still will kind of work against a Wingbow.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, there you go. And the damage was slightly decreased as well. So a couple of changes there to the Savage Mace. I know people have been talking about that one, but if this was pre-patch, I think it would be like Savage Mace would be somewhat obvious, but post-patch, it's understandable that it was kind of a decision there. But he gets it nonetheless. Have you had the chance to experience Savage Mace much yet? Or
I have. I don't like the nerfs on it because of the fact that Wingbows received nothing but buffs in, like, the last few patches. And Savage Mace has always been like kind of a counter to the item. Like, not necessarily a counter, but on top lane.
yeah, I caught that up there, actually. That was a good job. They dusted, and they barely saw him at the last second. Moraxis happened to stun him right before he TP'd out, so very well played there from Sync.
Yeah, but I was saying, it's always been that kind of go-to item if you really want to counter a Weebo. But in like recent games and competitive games at least, most people won't even buy a Savage to counter a Weebo. It's just they'll just build their own Weebo. Um, so from a competitive point of view, I don't like the Savage nerfs, but I guess from like the TMM standpoint, it might have been needed because people just thought Savage was that much stronger or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, again, Sandwraith himself likes it here. We do see the melee racks now. Middle lane, so Sync is starting to actually break through here. 54 minutes into the game here. Arachna could be jumped, of course, off the bat. Here we go with the response. The Elemental One stopped immediately. He does have a second one going to go. If he can get it off, he will. No, he gets feared, though. He still has it to channel, but it might not matter. Tempo goes down, and so does Sandwraith. He has a buyback. Use it right away. Double ultimate from Behemoth. There's double ultimates all over the place. Tempest goes down before he gets the second one off. He cannot buy back. Arachna, however, is still alive and still doing plenty of work. Parasite gets picked off. And, man, I mean, obviously there was so much going on there, but clearly Arachna, well, she was just fine. The symbol was used. She still even has the bananas. As a just in case now. These fights are going to be tough to really see what's happening. There's just so much double ultimates. Behemoth, Sandwraith, Tempest.
I have a feeling this game's going to go on like another 20 minutes.
It very likely could. And knowing that this may not even be the final game after that is pretty crazy. But that's where it stands. No, I'm with you. This is definitely turning out to be a potentially a very long game here. Sandwraith, I guess Sandwraith has a history of doing that, though. But yeah, were you able to see Arachna that last fight? And did she do a lot, you think, or was it maybe the supporting cast? Or
I think she did a decent amount. It was a lot of the supporting cast because she was locked down for a lot of the early of the fight.
Yeah.
But she went down to like I would say half, a little bit less than half HP, and then that symbol brought her right back up.
Okay. Yeah, I actually got the replay right here. Yeah, they jumped her first. The Elemental Void was immediately canceled by Teltex, definitely on top of that. And I thought he channeled again, the Elemental, but he just never got a second one off. But yeah, Arachna did start to drop a little bit. You're right. He got about to half life, and then all of a sudden was able to start right-clicking. So interesting fight indeed. Back to the live action, though. Going to be exposed right there. Moraxis jumping in. A big chance here for the Hellborn team to get the jump first. There's the ultimate from Sandwraith, though. Fears in the background. They go for a quick kill on a Tempest. Tempest Elemental Void, though. He says, I got to try for it. And it's a good lockdown right here. Kills Deadwood. Eventually is going to fall, but doing somewhat of a job right there. Shadowstorm activated by Lodestone. Where's Arachna during this? He's just sitting there holding his ground. They end up killing Parasite. However, they lose Glacius and Moraxis in a response, but Lodestone's chasing. Obviously, he's tanky with that Frostal Skull and whatnot. Arachna coming in. Arachna going to start putting in auto attacks. No, he gets stunned by Behemoth, actually. They're trying to block him, but Arachna just can't get close enough to get damage in right here. And now, actually, they need to be careful. Arachna, all of a sudden, he's going to get caught. Pops a heart and Carapace. Going to try to turn on to Sandwraith. He does have Spider Sting up. He's not using it yet. Finally, we'll use it right there. And Sandwraith, you just see how fast he melts if the auto attacks are able to get off there from Arachna, and he does have a buyback, but it would be his final one, so decision time for BMG now.
He doesn't have an ultimate either, and that was Moraxis. That was his last buyback from Moraxis.
Okay. Yeah, Moraxis' final buyback. Sandwraith will buy back. Here we go. Behemoth also, he's going to stay dead this time around. The Rax is going to fall. Looks like Sync eSports could have very likely broken through. As you mentioned, Sandwraith, no ultimate. He does lose a lot of impact, especially when he goes that Resto Stone staff for the Master build. So without the ultimate, he is going to have it right here as it just comes off cooldown, but damage already done. They get 2 sets of melee racks. And now it looks like Sync is interested in perhaps trying to retreat. Not going to be easy, though. There we go. Fear in from Sandwraith. Lodestone, though. Oh, that's going to be a big burst on his Sandwraith. He feels that he goes down, and that could very likely now officially do it, with Sandwraith actually staying dead this time. And Tempest joining back once again, an Elemental Void ready to go. So Sync eSports, now they're on the verge of winning the series, actually, 2-0 here.
Yep, I think that's game.
I was with you. This could have definitely been a very long game, but ends up, it also was a case of if they were able to find somebody roaming through the jungle, perhaps, and That could make it different, and we saw right there, Sync was able to find a couple in the jungle. Obviously, BMG was not really ready for it, and clearly we see the end result now of that. So they're not throwing in the towel yet. They're not going to throw in the concede vote just yet, but we're going to be seeing mega creeps here now in favor of Sync eSports. So Arachno with Ripshar's level 4, by the way, too. That is a lot of damage. Well, you're going to be playing Sync here, Formless.
Looks like it. I don't know. I'm glad that they won. Like, it's always fun to play against Sync.
Yeah, deserving victory indeed, too. So you'll get that rematch yet again. You guys have been playing a lot lately with these
we
playoffs.
play them. It seems like every single grand finals.
Yeah. And they're going to try to secure back-to-back grand finals now. It's something that you guys have had a little bit of trouble with, I'll say.
We got it, Breaky. We got it.
You got it this time?
We just have to make it to the grand finals. In cycle, which cycles did we? Cycle 2 and 4.
2 and 4, yeah.
We didn't even make it to the grand finals.
Yeah. So
cycle 4, I'm sorry.
Well, this is new territory then, because now you made it, but you've never won 2 in a row. So
exactly, we have to break that trend.
Who knows? Who knows? Well, we know it's going to be against Sync once again. So. As they are victorious, and it is official here. So hell of an effort from BMG. Definitely, they made it really interesting there. A longer game, but in the end, coming up short, and they will finish in that third place spot here. So BMG, still third place. Good amount of prize pool there, but coming up short for the grand finals. Sync versus Complexity in a straight up best of 3 will be our grand final matchup, and that'll be happening in about a half an hour from now. So. Ends up being a pretty good time here, a little bit of a break, but doing it right there. So, Formless, though, I do want to thank you for joining me here and bringing some great insight. Before we go, I want to give you the chance, any shout-outs, any final words that you have here?
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for having me. And I want to give a shout-out to Reg Roasty. I want to give a shout-out to my team, Complexity, the Sync for playing really well today. BMG for, of course, bringing their A game, but in the end, shout out to you. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Shout out to Baby Muffin, and I think that's about it.
All right. Obviously, I'm having to do that because, well, you got a match to play now, so we'd love to have you casting some more, but you got to go play some matches instead. So, well, we'll have fun watching that and look forward to that. So, again, good luck in that. Guys, we are going to be going on a little bit of a break here, as I mentioned, about a half an hour or so. But 3 p.m. Eastern, 2100 Central European Time is when we will be back. Or at least that's the schedule.